All right, hey, what's up, guys? I'm here in my house, and I'm about to be leaving to go to Prescott, Arizona with my wife, my friend Jason Denny, and his wife Rachel, and we're going to be doing the Epic Rides Whiskey 30 race. And before I leave, I wanted to put on some more like XC faster rolling tires. So I'm going to put some Specialized Ground Control 2.35s on. And these are the soil searching versions, which if you don't know, are pretty cool. They donate money to trail building with every purchase you make of these. And they come with the cool gum wall sides. So I'm going to put those on real quick, and then we're going to be heading out in the morning. All right, so I'm in Prescott, Arizona, and I'm here for the Whiskey Offroad mountain bike race. I'm here with my wife, Olivia, my friend Jason Denny, and his wife, Rachel. Rachel and Olivia are going to do the 15-mile race tomorrow, and Jason and I are going to do the Whiskey 30 on Saturday. And we were originally going to take the van and camp and also race, but ultimately we've all had a pretty rough week with work, and we're just kind of feeling not into the whole camping and trying to balance racing. So unfortunately, we're not going to have any camping stuff in this video, but I'm going to bring along a GoPro and document the race for Jason and I. We're at close to 6,000 feet, and the race I think has 3,000 or 4,000 feet of climbing. So I think it's going to be pretty difficult, especially with my heart rate issue that's been going on, but we'll kind of see how it goes, and I'm going to take you in the garage and kind of show you some of the bikes we brought for the race. So as you can see, there's quite a few bikes, and it's pretty obvious, I think, that we like Specialized bikes. This is Jason's custom S-Works stump jumper. And this is his Epic Evo. He brought two bikes because he wasn't really sure what the terrain was going to be like and wasn't sure which bike he'd want to ride. So he's probably going to decide which one he'll ride tomorrow. I think we're going to do a quick ride with the girls in the morning and kind of get a feel for what the trails are like. This is my S-Works stump jumper. You guys saw it in the last video. And like I said earlier, I put on some more XC style tires, the ground controls. And this is Jason's wife. And this is Rachel's Epic Evo. It's a sweet rig as well, got very similar tires to me. And this is Olivia's Epic Evo. It's a little dark in this corner here, but Olivia just recently got this bike. She's pretty stoked on it, and this is going to be her first mountain bike race. So these are kind of the rigs for the weekend, and I'll probably do a little bit more in-depth sort of walk around with a couple of the bikes just to kind of show you guys a little bit more.
3, 2, 1, wave to the 30 group is out of here.
All right, so this is us at the start gate, and it was at this point I started to think, maybe I don't have enough water, but it's only 8 miles to the first aid station, and that normally would be totally fine on a bottle and a half, even less, but I was not thinking about the sun and the heat along with the elevation. So this is the start. Everybody kind of got after it at the beginning, but then it turns into just a pretty long, grueling pavement climb that eventually hits dirt. And the cool thing is you'll notice just people hanging out outside of their house, cheering us on and showing their support, which was just incredible. So I really just kind of settled into my pace. I was aiming to keep my heart rate below about 170 for the initial climb. I originally wanted to keep it below 150, but the elevation was not gonna let that be possible. And this is actually still a very active off-road trail, and there will be Jeeps and trucks and whatnot driving up and down as you are climbing. So I made a quick stop at the first aid station and refilled some bottles, had a little snack, and it was sort of at this point I kind of realized, okay, I probably haven't hydrated enough because I was getting little cramps in my quads, but I figured I would just push on and keep going. And you keep climbing the fire road for a little bit, and then you hit single track, and this is kind of where the trail really starts, and there's a very steep loose climb coming up, and most people seem to walk it. I ultimately had to walk part of it because people in front of you stop and get off their bike, and there's no way to keep going. So that's something you got to deal with, and that's going to lead me into my next point, and that is trail traffic. So as you can see, this is kind of the first descent, and there's two people off their bikes. They were blocking both lines through this little rock garden, which was super frustrating. And it's kind of a theme throughout the whole race, which isn't a big deal. I mean, I wasn't out there to win. I was just trying to have fun. But it is somewhat dangerous to just have people at such varying skill levels or comfortabilities with descending. So you end up getting caught behind a lot of people that are walking. Thank you. But like I said, this is kind of the first descent. This is where we got to really kind of get after it a little bit. So we're moving pretty good here. This is kind of the first time I got to really try these ground controls and feel what their limits were. I did end up kind of finding that pretty quickly. They're definitely not as grippy as the Butchers that I'm used to, but they are a great all-around trail tire. So they're very fast rolling, which was awesome for this kind of race, and they handled all the rock gardens and whatnot perfectly fine. And very grateful for all the people that did hear you coming or hear you as you called out on your left or on your right and let you by.
Yeah, on your left. Thank you.
All right, so here we are about to drop into this second rock garden, and as you can see, people just immediately stop, and this one guy falls. So we check and make sure he's all good, and then try to navigate our way down this. And as you can see, these guys are kind of swapping from side to side, which made getting past them somewhat challenging. So I try to go to the right and get around, and then he cuts over to the right, so I go way far left and kind of go off trail through this loose rock section and get by him. And so you're descending for the next little bit. The trail goes up and down. It's pretty undulating, but there's a pretty good amount of descending from this point.
Oh shit. My bad.
And again, here we are stuck behind some trail traffic, and I don't like pressuring people. I'm not gonna make an unsafe pass and make someone crash out or anything, so I do like to just kind of give people space, and then I'll call out, hey, I'm gonna pass you on your left or your right, and usually people are pretty good about that.
On your left. On your right.
So I ended up getting kind of caught behind these guys for a little bit, and as you can kind of see, you know, some people are more comfortable descending and others are not. So I didn't want to pressure these guys and make anyone feel uncomfortable, so I just kind of rode close so they knew I was there, but didn't want to make a pass. It was pretty exposed and narrow. And I planned on getting around this guy whenever it was safe. I didn't want to like call out, hey, on your left too early, because there wasn't a really good spot to pass. And then he makes a comment to me, and I told him, hey, I was just waiting until, you know, there was a safe spot. So he was one of the few that were not very accommodating when it came to passing, but that was not a very common thing.
On your right, thank you.
And again, more descending, you know, real just kind of fast, flowy, fun stuff here. And now we're at about 16, 17 miles in, and my legs are fully cramped out. I just got to the second aid station. I ended up texting Olivia actually and saying, hey, I don't know if I'm going to finish. My legs are cramping out super bad. But I decided to just drink a couple bottles of water, sit down, and I ended up sitting down for about 30 minutes or so. And I felt good enough to start riding, so I started riding again, and 5 or 10 minutes in, they just fully locked up. So I pulled over again and I stretched for about 10 solid minutes, which ended up doing the trick. I was able to continue and didn't have to stop or anything. No more cramps, which was awesome. Okay, so this is the main trail traffic part. As you can see, you know, it's just lines of people stopping, and I get it, you know, there's some technical stuff, but because I ended up having to sit for so long at the aid station, I did kind of get caught up in like the third wave. And for the rest of the race, it was pretty much any sort of technical uphill or downhill. We were completely stopping and walking or walking up the climb, which was really frustrating. And so again, yeah, more stopping and waiting. There was a couple up ahead that were having some issues, and they tried to go right in front of me, and I asked, hey, can I go in front of you? And the dad made a comment, well, we're just going to catch you again, which was pretty funny. It's not really the point, and I don't believe they did.
Here, can I get in front of you real quick?
Yeah, we'll end up catching up with you.
I'm sure.
I think I was a little bit surprised by how much walking people were doing. I do understand though that, you know, it's difficult. It's somewhat technical, so that was something. It was okay. Like I said, I'm not out there to win. I just wanted to have fun, and I was having a great time.
Up here at the top, right?
Sorry. Hey, it's all good, man. Hey, on your left.
And here's the bar that's about 3/4 of the way through the race. You get a shot of whiskey, grab a beer, you know, do whatever. And not long after my GoPro ended up dying, I wasn't able to continue recording until I got back on the pavement and changed the battery out.
Oh shit. Oh, fuck. Go ahead.
And at this point, it's just smooth sailing through town. Everybody's cheering you on, which is super fun, very encouraging, and such a good way to end the race, just on a smooth downhill. And while I didn't get the time that I wanted, I had a super awesome time at the race in general, and will definitely be coming back. All right, I just got done with the Whiskey 30, and so did Jason. I didn't place super well. I ended up cramping really bad. I did not respect the elevation and did not hydrate properly. I left the start line with a bottle and a half, just thinking, it's only 8 miles to the first aid station. And that ended up coming back to bite me in the ass because I just didn't hydrate enough and my quads just fully cramped out. I ended up having to sit for like 30 minutes at the second aid station, and I honestly wasn't sure I was going to finish it, but I sat there for a while, hydrated, ate, and then continued on. And I actually had to stop again because my legs were just cramping up again as there was more climbing. But I kind of got a second wind after that and was able to finish without stopping anymore, which was cool. But I think I placed like bottom third or something, so not good. But Jason finished in the top third, I think. He did an awesome job. So I had a really good time. Next time I would definitely take the hydration more seriously and drink more, take more electrolytes, and train. We did not train for this. So I think it ended up being 2,800 feet of climbing and 27 miles, which isn't crazy. It's honestly kind of like a normal ride for me, but at 6,000 feet in elevation, it was rough. But the Stumpy did really well. I'm not sure it was the perfect bike for this. I think an Epic Evo would be a good choice. That's what Rachel, Olivia, and Jason all rode. I was the only one on the Stumpy, and the ground controls are really good. They're definitely not as sticky as a trail tire, and I found the limit a couple times, which you probably saw in the video. But overall, I had a great time, and I'm really glad we came. So we will be coming back, and I just want to reiterate how awesome the town of Prescott is. You know, the entire race, there's people sitting outside of their houses cheering you on, and the town just seems super supportive of this race and of mountain bikers in general. So thank you, Prescott. It was an awesome event, and we will definitely be coming back.